Imagine this. It's a moonless night in October 2001. The world watches as stealth bombers pierce the skies over Afghanistan, unleashing firepower on a nation that had become synonymous with terror. But what began as a mission to dismantle al-Qaeda spiraled into a two-decade odyssey of war, sacrifice, and unanswered questions. What really happened in this 20-year conflict? And why does it still haunt the global conscience? In the aftermath of 9/11, America's call to arms was resolute. The mission? To root out Osama bin Laden, destroy al-Qaeda's network, and dismantle the Taliban regime that sheltered them. It sounded simple enough. Yet, as the dust settled over Kabul, a complex tapestry of alliances, betrayals, and unintended consequences began to unfold. The early days were swift. Within weeks, the Taliban fled major cities, and optimism surged. But here's a question for you. Have you ever noticed how the quick wins in history often carry the seeds of prolonged struggles? Afghanistan was no exception. The landscape, rugged, unforgiving, and unfamiliar, became a chessboard where the rules were ever-changing. U.S. forces weren't just fighting the Taliban, they were navigating a labyrinth of tribal loyalties, insurgent tactics, and the shadowy presence of regional powers. By 2005, the war that was supposed to be over had entered a new phase. The Taliban re-emerged, bolder and more organized, launching attacks that stunned even the most seasoned military strategists. Villages turned into battlegrounds, and drone strikes, precision weapons meant to minimize collateral damage, became symbols of controversy. Here's something ironic. The very tools meant to secure peace often deepened the scars of war. Imagine living under the constant hum of drones, never knowing if you were safe. How would you endure? Fast forward to 2009. A surge of U.S. troops flooded into Afghanistan under President Obama's strategy to stabilize the region. The goal? Win hearts and minds. But how do you win hearts when those very hearts are torn between fear of the Taliban and mistrust of foreign soldiers? This is where the story takes a dark turn. Corruption seeped into Afghanistan's fledgling government, aid money vanished, and promises of rebuilding crumbled into rubble. Let's pause for a moment. Picture a young Afghan child growing up during this time. They've known nothing but war. Their laughter often drowned out by the echoes of gunfire. What future could they dream of in such a reality? It's gut-wrenching, isn't it? As the years dragged on, the war's purpose blurred. Was it still about terrorism? Nation-building? Regional stability? Public opinion in the U.S. began to shift. Questions like, "Why are we still there?" grew louder. Yet, the conflict trudged on, claiming lives and resources at an unrelenting pace. And then came 2020, when talks of withdrawal began to dominate headlines. But here's the cliffhanger. Withdrawing wasn't just about packing up and leaving. It meant confronting the ghosts of decisions past. Would the Afghan government hold? Would the Taliban return to power? You'd think 2 decades of investment, trillions of dollars, thousands of lives, would buy some certainty. But the reality was anything but clear. When the U.S. finally withdrew in August 2021, the world watched in disbelief as Kabul fell within days. Crowds swarmed the airport, desperate to escape. The images were haunting. Parents passing children to soldiers, planes taking off with desperate Afghans clinging to their sides, and the eerie silence of abandoned bases. So, what's the legacy of the Afghanistan War? Is it a cautionary tale about the limits of military power? A testament to the resilience of a people caught in the crossfire? Or is it a reminder that some questions have no easy answers? Perhaps the strangest truth is this. Even after 20 years, we're still grappling with the meaning of it all. As we close, let me ask you this. What lessons will future generations take from this chapter of history? Will they see it as a failure, a noble effort, or something else entirely? The Afghanistan War may have ended, but its story is far from over. And maybe, just maybe, the most important battle is ensuring we never forget its cost.